Alright everyone, welcome back for another video on Legend of Mushroom. Today I have to show you one more thing with my WARBRINGER, because two things. First of all, I had a crazy luck with the Avian I bred recently. It is increasing by a lot my power, you are gonna see that during that video. And secondly, someone sent me some information on my Discord about someone on the Asian version of the game playing the WARBRINGER a little bit differently than how I was playing it before. He's using a few different ways, in fact, to increase his damage, and I tried that as well, and it increased by a bit my damage. So we are discussing that in that video, but first of all, let me show you these three fights here. I'm sorry, Mats, I'm trying a lot of things against you because you are a very strong martial sage and you are on my server, so it is easier for me to try things. So I apologize about that, but guys, look at that fight here. I'm using the crocodile mount, by the way. So look at that. First hit with the pixel sword. And he had the Guardian summoned. That is insane. Look at that. And try to notice what I changed on my build and let me know in the comments before I show you my build, of course. Check the timer as well. 22 seconds, the fight is already over. So I was using the crocodile mount here. Now let me show you again, but that time I'm using the cheetah mount. So just in case you want to be more efficient versus other players as well, you know that with that build you can use the cheetah mount. You're gonna have less damage, but you can survive, and just in case it procs your cheetah mount, you can deal some more damage before dying. And it can be very strong. Look at the damage I still have with the pixel sword though, it is insane. And check the timer and my HP as well. I'm not dead yet. Gonna have one more attack. And 33 seconds that time. It didn't even proc the cheetah mount and I survived. I won the fight. And finally, on the last fight here, I'm using the Cinder Wolf. Working very well as well. But I failed the first hit. As you can see here, it dealt way less damage than before, so it could be way better, but still pretty good damage, even though it was a fail from the pixel sword. It can happen sometimes. Check that. Gonna proc the Cinder Wolf now and look at his health. Ciao! 22 seconds as well. That is absolutely insane. So, did you notice any change on my builds? Gotta show that to you. First of all, crazy luck on that Avian. I was able to breed that rabbit with no speeding, super reflect counter, and rage bonus. That is absolutely insane, considering the fact that the resources to breed these avians are limited, and you could have some only during the collaboration event we had a while ago, but I never bred them. I saved everything I had in the past, and so I still have 11 remaining. And by the way, I had a pretty good one for the regen tanky martial sage build, I guess. If I show that to you, I think this is the one. Reverse control, reflect counter, regen ability, and rage bonus. So I'm gonna try to breed some to have a better version of this one later. But for now, this is absolutely insane. That Avian is very strong for a WARBRINGER. Every 5 seconds, if that Avian is targeting your character, you are reducing your defense and you are converting 3 times the defense reduced into some attack for 5 seconds. My build works well with a lot of defense, so it is working pretty well. It's increasing by a lot my attack, and then you can deal some AoE skill damage, combo damage, counter damage that can crit to the target and reduce their final damage res by 10% for 5 seconds. So it helps a lot with the pixel sword to release even more damage. That Avian is absolutely insane for that, okay? First thing I changed on my build. Second thing, I'm using a different back accessory than before. This is the one. Before I was using these wings here. It can be very strong. It is almost doing the same, but this one on a long fight is going to be better than the other version, because if I go on this one, you can see here that the debuffs on the target are remaining, the buffs on your character are remaining only for the first 20 seconds. But during these 20 seconds, if you have a lot of damage, if you can handle the fight, then it's going to help you a lot. Reduce the enemy's crit resistance by 10% after the battle starts. Tanks have a crazy amount, generally more than 3000%, so it helps a lot to increase your damage. And when your HP fall down below 50%, you can do that, directly trigger that at the start of the fight when you're using the red spore. You are getting 6% more crit rate, skill crit rate, pal crit rate, plus 8% final crit damage, final skill crit damage, and final pal crit damage. I noticed a bit more damage when I was using that back accessory instead of the wings, but the wings are still almost the same, and on the long fight the wings are gonna be better, but for now I'm using this one, okay? The pixel sword is mandatory for that build. I'm still using that. You can try anything else and nothing is gonna work the same. If you have that staff, it can help to deal some more damage. If you have that one, the heart, it can release a lot of damage as well, but not close to the pixel sword. And the bistro bow can be a solution, but one more time, it's not gonna deal the same amount of damage. This one can help as well, but it's gonna be even less efficient than the others. Or the stuff of Hermes apparently is working pretty well for that, but I don't have it, so I can't tell, okay? Next thing that I changed. If I go there, I'm not using the clone anymore. Instead, I'm using the coin bomb here, increasing my final basic attack damage. And there is a reason behind that. If I show you the pixel sword here, you are dealing some AoE skill damage, I don't care. Basic attack damage that can crit 1000%. So if I balance my upgrades on the basic attack and the counter, I have at the end a bit more damage with the pixel sword. I should have tried that earlier, but yeah, better knowing that today than never, okay? 1000% basic attack AoE damage, 1000% current counter damage, and can crit, so it is working very well. If I go on my souls, I changed a bit my souls. I lowered by 1 my attack soul, by 2 my crit damage soul, and by 3 my counter damage soul. And I increased my basic attack soul to 42, so I have a bit more basic attack. So now if I show you my stats, I'm lacking some crit rate. It could be better if I had 100%. I'm working on that with the dividing path. I have a 10,500% crit damage, which is very high. Ignore counter. I suppose that it is very strong versus martial sages because with their PAL, with their Avian, they can trigger punch counter, the affix on the Avian, when they counter strike. So if you can ignore the counter, you are taking less damage. Basic attack, I have a 5.2k. Very interesting. Counter multiplier overbroken. 80,000%. 80,000%. That is absolutely wild. So I have a crazy percentage here. I have a 1,500 pierce, helping a lot. And the rest, I don't really care about that. This is not very efficient. And these are my main stats here. Okay, so you know about it. And one more stat that is interesting to check. Counter-Strike 112%, okay? So if I come back there, I'm gonna show you the entire build. These are the skills and pals I am using, okay? So with the toothpaste and the dog here, I'm increasing by a lot my counter multiplier. It's helping a lot, reducing the crit rate of the target, increasing my crit damage and my regen. The Hydro Sprite is one of the best to use for that kind of fight, so use that in your team. These are the skills, okay, then the relics I'm using, I'm trying to concentrate on my damage first. I replaced the necklace, now I'm using the one to increase my basic attack multiplier while in battle and releasing basic attacks. And the red spore, of course, and the book to increase my damage. There, I'm using global counter at the prayer statue only. I'm gonna show you my talents because I changed a few things. On the Fury, I decided to go on the right first to take this one, so when my HP fall down below 20%, I'm getting more attack speed and crit damage. It is even better when you are using that with the cheetah mount, the Christian mount, or the Cinder Wolf because you are falling down at 20% HP, you are immune for a few seconds, and you can take advantage of these damage increase, okay? Very strong for these mounts. Crit damage here, counter damage here, basic attack and attack HP and defense everywhere. Just some bonus if you have enough feathers remaining. Try to increase your healing sources here. You have this one at the top. You have this one on the left here, healing rate, a healing amount, and healing rate here as well. So it can be very interesting and create a resistance. If you have still some feathers remaining, it can help. Counter damage here in priority on the left. And just as a bonus as well, ignore evasion. You don't want your attacks to miss, okay? Ignore evasion on both the sides, 10 on 10. If you have some feathers remaining, one more time. On the archery, go on the left. Take this one for the crit damage increase. You have the crit damage there as well, very important. Then some evasion. If you still have some feathers, you have some healing amount and healing rate here that can help. Then HP, attack, and defense, and take some resistances at the top and some more evasion if you can afford it at the end. Sorcery tree. Go on the left, take this one to increase your attack every time you're casting a skill, up to 30% more, very important. Take the wand, very important too versus tanks. And on the left, you still have some ignore evasion here if you want to be more efficient. And ignore counter versus martial sages, it can help as well. Attack, HP, and defense. Then on the right, go and take this one. One more time, and when you fall down below 20% HP for the first time, you are going to trigger that. Skill cooldown accelerated by 100% for 5 seconds. You can recover your cooldowns, cast one more time maybe the Blitz Assault, or increase one more time your damage before releasing some extra damage before dying at the end. Very important one, especially if one more time you're using the Cinder Wolf, the Crescent Mount, the Cheetah Mount. Okay? Then this one to increase your active skill regen, of course, the crit resistance if you can afford it. One more time, the ignore evasion. You can have some more heals when you are casting some skills with that. It can help a lot, and I'm gonna take that one more time. And ignore counter on the right as well. HP, attack, and defense, and then on the top, same as for the archery branch, you want to increase the same resistances. If you are facing a martial sage, you don't care about the pile damage raise, the skill damage raise, of course, or the combo damage raise. You want to focus on the counter damage raise, of course. And on the tame beast, go on the right, take the wand, very important to reduce the healing effect of the target when they don't have a shield. Attack, HP, and defense everywhere, and you can put some points in here, so you're gonna heal every time your pals are gonna release some attacks. I'm gonna put one more point inside of it, okay? For the scrolls, this is how I'm using the scrolls. Almost the same in attack and crit damage, because this is where you're gonna release the highest amount of damage. Then try to put a lot of points into basic attack plus counter damage. It can help a lot as well with the pixel sword and with your basic attacks and your counters. And finally, put the rest into defense. This is not a lot. Maybe this is not the most optimal thing to use, but it was working very well so far, so I'm using that, okay? For the ancients, this is where things are getting interesting to get a lot of global counter. If you check here, it's giving to me 153%. Because here, counter damage as main, 24% global counter as a second stat, very interesting here. Healing amount can help, I guess. Pile damage raise here, this is not optimal for that fight, but it is helping for the rest. 25% global counter as second stat, very strong here. And one more time, some healing amounts, why not? On this one, crit damage as main, global counter as second stat at 25% one more time. It would be more efficient if it was a counter multiplier rune, but I'm working on that before jumping on my PAL class. Yeah, I decided to work on that because I have already a crazy amount of damage, and if I jump on my PAL class now, I'm gonna miss a bit of extra damage, and that would be sad. So I'm working on that, crit damage, global counter. Trying to have some more here because I'm using a broken set for now. On this one, rune number 3, one more time, a 25% extra global counter. That is absolutely insane, and 1% combo damage res, it can help. On this one, rune number 2, global counter, 27%, and one more time, some combo damage res and global basic attack damage. So this one is perfect for that build, plus some extra evasion. And finally, on that rune, an extra 27% global counter, plus 1% counter damage res and 3% ignore evasion. It can help as well. Okay, I suppose I showed you everything I was using. No, this is the last thing I'm using, the Lamb Thief to increase both my attack and defense, the Butterfly on the left to increase my defense by a bit more, and this one on the right to increase my counter multiplier during the battle. And so that's all. I suppose that I showed you absolutely everything I was using. Oh no, wait, the Dividing Path. Crit rate 14%. I got some Counter-Strike 6% and some Pierce 1500. This is what matters, okay? If I show you that, crit rate, I have only some blue everywhere, so it can be way better. I'm going to work on that later because for now I need to unlock the 5th node everywhere here, and this is what I'm using. Crit rate, a red one. Pierce, Counter-Strike, red with some gray Pierce. Pierce, red, and Pierce, yellow here, some block and stuff like that, it can help. Alright guys, so let me know what you think about that in the comment below. Have a really nice day, and now I am working on my PAL class. Someone sent me on Discord a lot of information about the PAL class, so I'm gonna try to replicate that. This is every single detail that he sent to me for PvE and PvP, so now just need some time to work on all these things, guys. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments. Have a nice day. That was Akhtar. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye bye.